Okay, welcome back. So in our last video we made a model with some augmentation layers, and I said we were going to run this, so I pre-ran this just before the video to kind of check to make sure that there wasn't any errors. There was a couple of things that I wanted to change, and there's actually an error in here. So the first thing I want to change is let's change our dropout layer to 0.05 just so it's not dropping out at such a high rate. We can always bring that back up. That's just a small change that I made. Another change that we want to make is our random zoom. So in the previous version I just had one parameter, which isn't an error. It won't cause an error, but it's not really what I meant to intend. So what we really wanted to do was zoom in both height and width. So it takes actually two factors. When we only had one factor, it was just going to do height zooming. So I modified that now to kind of do what our intention was, is to zoom in both X and Y directions. So just add another factor here. But the big error that we had in our last version was this. So the contrast isn't a problem, but the brightness is a problem. So I think it was somewhere down here. Let's see. It was like this, I think. So previously we had our model like this, which looks fine, but there's actually one problem, and it's a mistake on my part. So if we look at the brightness parameters, so I look at the random brightness parameters here, you can see that the value range is 0 to 255. So what's happening is we're introducing a lot of problems into our model because we've already rescaled this from values of 0 to 1 and the model's working. But now our brightness is modifying that back to a value of 0 to 255. So we have two ways to address that. We could either change the brightness range, or if we want to just make it simple, we can just slide these up so that we do a random brightness before we rescale the image. So just to reiterate what I'm saying here is, first we were rescaling our image data to values between 0 and 1 by dividing by 255. But then our random brightness layer was rescaling the image, was adding a certain amount between a value range of 0 and 255, in our case 0.3. So we had values now that were bigger than 1. That's a problem. So what I've done is I'm operating on my image now while it's still in the range of 0 to 255, doing that augmentation, and then I'm rescaling. So that problem could be solved by both ways. We could either change our brightness value range down here, or just to keep it simple, we could just do our brightness modification at the beginning of the model. And now if we run it, we should start to see it converge. So I'm going to run my model, and I'll see you in the next video.